Oh my God, you guys. This is the gnarliest, wettest storm we have ever had here. It could break the fence. Ow, ow.
Hey friends, I'm Alex. Welcome back to Life in the Country. It's been a minute since I shared a video on the homestead, but don't worry, we've been hard at work and have a lot to catch you up on.
That's blue.
So stick around until the end for some huge updates that I cannot wait to share with you. Obviously, the kitchen renovation saga continues, but we're finally approaching the finish line on what has been the biggest remodel project of our lives, and it's really starting to come together. It's honestly beautiful. But before we dive into that deeper, we got to get outside, because when you own land, you have to maintain it and manage it, especially in the spring. The grass grows at phenomenal rates. Windstorms are common down here, and that means that sometimes trees fall over, which is why a solid chainsaw is one of my most used and trusted tools on the homestead, especially when the wild windstorms of spring blow through, like you'll see later on. So stay tuned. So first things first, it's time to break out the chainsaw. And before putting it into use, you got to do a little checkup, open it up, clean it, then sharpen the chain before use. Once that's done, you can mix up some fuel, combining petrol and oil, as well as topping up on chain lube. You got to keep things lubed. A little bit of lube goes a long way. Unfortunately, we lost one of these little trees a few weeks back. It wasn't particularly windy, but it did fall over, which led me to think there could have been other issues, which we will investigate later. But first, we got to tidy this up. Luckily, the tree falling over didn't break any of our fencing, because fences, especially full timber fences like the ones we use to divide our homestead from our paddocks, are expensive. So I chopped it up, lopped it over the fence into our lower paddock, then dragged the branches up to a burn pile. In the country, we have seasonal burn piles because trees shed branches, leaves fall, and the best way to clear up space and return the materials back into the soil is by having a controlled burn in a burn pile. This is usually done in the spring because the grass is still quite wet and the risk of the fire spreading is really low. When I got to the root of the tree, I found the issue. The root of the problem was root rot. It looks like this tree fell ill, which allowed these roly-polies, known as slaters in New Zealand, or woodlice, to get into the tree trunk and eat the soft timber. Then this causes it to fail structurally and eventually tip over. So moving on to the other paddock, the forest paddock as we like to call it, I had some eucalyptus or gum wood to chop up for firewood. Over the winter, an arborist from the power company came out and trimmed our trees as they were getting pretty close to the power lines. Gum is great firewood as it's dense and slow burning. It's expensive to buy, and since our home is heated by a wood fire for most of the year, we obviously want to keep this. Little did I know what lay in store for this wood a little bit later when the storm hit.
Flooding is just getting too intense now.
So I got that ringed out and then split it with my splitting axe and stacked it up into a pile to dry in the sun. After that, I headed up to the garden to plant some new strawberries. We get our strawberry plants from our local garden shop and always enjoy supporting small family-run businesses when we can. So to plant these, you basically dig a hole. I'm planting them next to our existing strawberries. Strawberries are perennials, which means that you plant them once and they come back year after year for a couple of years. But the harvests do start to decline after a few years, so it's a good idea to replace them every 3 years or so. And while we're at it with perennials, my favorite type of garden plant, because you only have to plant them once, let's plant some more asparagus in our little asparagus patch. They grow for about 7 years, but asparagus do take a few seasons before they start producing. So the asparagus patch that we have in our garden was already in the garden bed when we bought this property 4 years ago. So we figured it's time to add a few of our own. Then I like to plant peas in with the asparagus patch to use all of our garden beds to the max with companion plants. Asparagus basically come out in the spring for a few weeks and then they go back underground and remain kind of dormant until the next spring. So by planting peas on top of the asparagus patch, I'm actually adding nitrogen back into the soil, helping the asparagus grow healthier and maximizing my growing space. Plus, who doesn't love peas? They're so good. All right, so that's land management done. And later on that week, some big moves started to happen in the kitchen. All right, you guys, it's happening. We got lasers on the wall because the cabinetry is getting installed. Yes, you guys, they got the tools on the deck. Looking good. Here we go. We had basically finished off most of the jobs that we could do, and it was time for Workshop Designs, the incredible local design joinery company that we worked with to reimagine our kitchen. Dropped off the custom cabinetry. Is so beautiful, and they got to work installing it. That took about a day, and they got the cabinetry installed, and I took the time in between them coming back to finish off the job to paint our French doors. There was a lot of wear and tear on the French doors, dog scratches, etc. So I filled that all in with a putty and then sanded up the doors, and we painted them this nice green color called double Acaroa from Resine. I really like the way it came together. Then a couple days later, funnily enough, on the day that Workshop Designs came back to finish installing the cabinetry around where the refrigerator would be, the Electricians came. They finished installing all of the electrical, and they installed our new oven, which honestly, you guys, is so amazing. I cannot wait to share more cooking content with you once the kitchen is fully complete. And my wife is 35 weeks pregnant, I think now. She's due in the beginning of December, so it's time to start nesting a little bit more. And we wanted to have an area for all of us to hang out and read books with our daughters. And so we got Eliana a little day bed, which eventually she'll move into once she outgrows her cot. So I had to assemble that. I feel like half of being a dad is just like assembling things. Once I got that done, the weather decided to take a turn, and it started to rain a lot.
Crazy weather, power's out, came on for like a second. Luckily I made 3 coffees in that period of time.
This coffee machine makes a lot of noise, but I need coffee.
But it's super windy. Windy so loud, woke us up last night, and then no power this morning, so crazy.
This is what happened.
Oh my God. You guys, this is the gnarliest, wettest storm we have ever had here. The pond is flooding. Look at this.
I mean, honestly, guys, I'm not gonna lie. It was the wettest, longest, wettest, windiest storm I think we've ever had here. The Homestead was just getting battered.
Oh my God. I want to go get that freaking firewood that I split, that good gum, Eucalyptus. That's like really good firewood. And it's just gonna like float off if I don't go get it right now. God. All right. This is gonna be a wet afternoon. Welcome to Operation Firewood Save. I don't know, you can help me come up with a cooler name than that, but that's what we're doing. I just linked the trailer up, and you know what? I was gonna do this like a few days ago, and that's what I get for waiting and putting it off. Now I have to salvage as much of the firewood, which I spent, you know, time and energy doing. I have to salvage it from floating away. Oh my God, you guys. So the stream has overflowed by so much that it's flooded this entire lower paddock, and there's two large piles of eucalyptus firewood there, which once enough water gets under them, they're going to float, and then they'll float up against the fence line and break it. Not to mention we'll lose all of that good firewood. So I'm out here with our au pair, and we're barefoot grabbing as many logs as we can. Careful there. Don't go in there. All right, let's get out of here, Marina. Don't worry about it. Look at that log is underwater now, you guys. That's how quickly these floodwaters are rising. That's good. This is not good. Here, I'm gonna throw these ones over. Yeah. Guys, this is really, I'm not exaggerating, like this is really intense. This is the worst flooding I've ever seen here. I think we're gonna leave the rest of it. I don't think, now that I'm thinking about this, I don't think this is super safe. I've decided to leave that last log pile, A, because it's pretty heavy and the wood above is kind of weighing it down, but B, the flooding is just getting too intense now. The water is really starting to move, and you know, it could get this is just insane weather. This is the gnarliest storm I've ever been in.
So basically, I just wanted to make sure that all the downpipes weren't clogged. You know, the gutters, having all these trees around us, leaves get stuck in the gutters, and then the leaves go and they block up the downpipe, and then the water can't drain off of the roof, and it starts to overflow, and it causes all sorts of problems. So you got to get up there on the ladder and clear those out.
Steady, steady.
Which is, you know, let's be real, not that fun.
That's helping.
And probably kind of dangerous.
You're getting some good drainage now. Major flooding in the garage too, but most of the I got all the appliances off the ground, elevated. We still have the range hood. So that's there on that thing. And then I got the dishwasher up off the ground too, so, but not good. Run. Ow, ow, lemon, ow. Ah. You too. Oh my God, I'm so drenched right now, you guys. I'm just absolutely drenched. Oh, garden's looking good though. Look at the pond. The island is underwater. The bridge in the back is underwater. Wow. Winds were so strong they literally blew over our timber firewood storage. We're out of wood right now, and you know, pregnant wife and baby inside. So I gotta go get some firewood. Let's go. Luckily our house is in a good spot. Like, we're in an elevated position, but that's good enough. Let's go. Okay, so it's a few hours later, it's dinner time and there's still no power and everybody's hungry, so we're about to commence Operation Curry Dinner. We're gonna have to ford a river to get there. So let's go. Okay. Pick up, please. Can I do two buttered chickens? Hello, can you hear me? So, really intense weather today. We had winds that were gusting 61 miles an hour, which is like 2 miles, it's 100-kilometer-an-hour winds. And those have brought down power lines. They have brought down trees. Luckily, the road to our house is still open, even though there is a section right in front of our house where the water has, you know, flooded over the culvert. But it's just incredible how the weather down here, it's so temperamental. It changes so quickly. It's literally sunny now, and like 10 minutes ago it was torrential rain, and it's still raining even though it's sunny. The wind is still howling. There was huge rainbows in the sky, and you know, yesterday was like a beautiful still sunny day. Because we are at the latitude that we are, the roaring Forties, which is this weather system at the bottom of the planet that basically storms brew in Antarctica in the cold southern oceans, and they just throw these big storm systems, these prevailing winds that blow from west to east. And New Zealand, as well as like Tasmania, but mostly New Zealand, kind of bears the brunt of those weather systems. And the springs here in New Zealand are particularly unsettled. So these kind of weather events are becoming, I mean, they are common, but they're definitely getting like more ferocious. But We'll see how long it takes for power to get back. When we first moved into the house, we lost power for like, no exaggeration, for I think it was 4.5, almost 5 days. So hopefully that's not the case now. Okay, so I drove to go get dinner, and on the way back, this is what awaits me, literally like a minute away from the house. On hold with the power company, hence the annoying music. I'm trying to see whether the power's gonna come back on tonight or not. But we're all good. We're hanging out, just reading a book. Fire's going. Lanka's sleeping by the fire. Eliana's asleep in her bedroom, and we're all good. So. All right, it's the next morning. The down tree is still here. Looks like one of my neighbors cut a little pathway for like a quad bike or something, but there's still a lot down, so I'm gonna try to clean it up a little bit. Make it so that cars can actually go through here.
Right across the country, there were blackouts due to this massive storm that hit New Zealand, and our region was affected as well, and our home was affected. Lost power for 36 hours. So anytime there's a big storm like this, the next morning I like to wake up and go out and check the road, bring my chainsaw, and just make sure that everything's clear. But especially today, because we had a very important delivery coming, something we've been looking forward to for many months.
All clear.
The countertops for our kitchen. So we had to make sure that the truck would be able to make it up the road and that there wasn't a pesky little fallen tree getting in the way of us completing our kitchen. But like I said, the power was out, so we were in a little bit of a bind though, because they needed power to operate an angle grinder to complete the installation of the countertops.
Okay, so to save the day, our neighbors came in super clutch, and we have managed to borrow their generator because, you know, just the way that life works, the day that the countertops get installed, we have no power, and they need power to run an angle grinder so that they can fit all the countertops. Oh my God, there's already some of them in and they look incredible. Borrowed our neighbor's generator. They're doing the job. It's looking good.
So thank you, Justin and Natalie.
We had to cut into the wall.
Oh, it's okay.
It was like slightly too big.
Yeah, it's gonna get tiled though.
Yeah,
So.
that's what
Oh.
They're so pretty.
Oh my God. So the storm is over, thankfully, and we didn't get too much damage from the wind. Other parts of the country were much more affected. We seem to have gotten the worst of it 2 days before, because there was basically a big windstorm and flooding, and then the next day it was calm, and then the next day after that was like another big windstorm and flooding. But it's a nice day today. I'm in the garden and I'm a little bit bummed because I'm seeing rust on my garlic crop. Garlic is good organic garlic in this country is really, really expensive. I think it's like $60 per kg. So 60 bucks New Zealand for like 2.2 pounds of garlic. But then you can buy Chinese grown garlic for like $5. God knows what they put on it or how it's harvested. I know that it is, they take the skins off of the garlic. It's done by, prison labor. So I prefer not to buy that garlic, but this is not good. So I'm gonna have to trim off the affected areas. You can kind of see the little dots on the stalk, like right there. basically I have to cut all of this off and then pull this off, dispose of it in a bag because you don't want to compost it because then the rust will come back. And then once I've done that with my entire garlic crop, which is pretty much every single garden bed, then I have to come through with a copper spray a little bit of that on there, and then starting like next week, I have to once a week spray the garlic with a skim-milk, diluted skim-milk, which is used as an antifungal. So we'll see, hopefully it doesn't affect the garlic crop too much. Next step, we got milk, 1/3 milk, 2/3 water with a little bit of dish soap in there, Dr. Bronner's. And now you spray that on, and there's something about this being, I don't know, like slightly acidic or something like that. I'm not quite sure, but the internet says, so let's try it. This is how you treat your garlic rust.
All right, so we saved the garlic, we sprayed it with milk, and hopefully that does the trick. I'll catch up with you all real soon in the next homestead vlog. There's a lot going on. We're making progress, and I'm just filming and documenting everything that I get up to out there to just share it more often with you, because I really do enjoy making these homestead vlogs as well, and I know you guys like it. So if you do, share your comments, tell me what you think about the videos. If you enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up, click all the buttons, tell the algorithm that you enjoy this content, and help me keep making it. And until then, we'll see you in the next one. Peace, stay curious, keep growing. Later.